Yeah, it's your boy Rob Allen, ENT. You know what time it is. It's Kwame Brown and Joe Butt and Judge Joe Brown talking about Charlemagne the God. Stephen A. Smith, stop playing with him, boy. Kwame Brown said every day he gonna go live. Every day he gonna have a talk show. And every day that you say something about him and you keep bringing him up, he said, I'm gonna keep building my platform. I'm gonna keep the clout tour going because the attention in the internet world equals and equates to money if you know how to monetize your platforms and your situations. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
So speaking on that, I think that's a good segue to go into. You told me a story about how Charlemagne the God got his name, and I thought that was interesting. I don't think people know that. Why would he call himself that based on what you're going to explain?
What is he, 5'6"?
Charlemagne?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, he's a little short guy. Look, uh,
Yo, he gotta chill. Why he come out talking about he's an old short guy? Yo, that's crazy, man. They say short people got a complex. I don't know.
the real Charlemagne
Mm-hmm.
was an Adolf Hitler prototype, but an Adolf Hitler on steroids. He did ethnic cleansing all through Europe. He was a Franco-German.
Mm-hmm.
It meant Charles the Great. So this clown on the Breakfast Club is saying Charles the Great, the God.
Mm-hmm.
Charlemagne was a psychopath.
Yo, I did not know that. I had no idea. I didn't know that. Nope. Didn't know that.
Dang.
Right?
There was one little episode where he went down to where the Basques still live, and they still had the old habit of cremating their dead.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Place ain't very much area to bury somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he went down and he slaughtered 120, 125,000 of them because they cremated their dead. He did stuff like that. He slaughtered people, killed out whole regions, exterminated everybody because they didn't switch over to his particular brand of religion.
Mm-hmm.
Ethnic cleansing on a super scale back in the Dark Ages, the 10th century, in the 900s. So that's who he's calling himself by, Charlemagne the God. Now, like, why would a black man name himself after a German psychopath? You got it? That's like saying, I'm Adolf the Great.
No, they wouldn't let you say that.
Yeah, but Charlemagne was worse.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, you add 500 years to it, and somebody's war criminal crimes against humanity type becomes a worthy of note because he exercised power.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right about the attack on masculinity.
Just like I don't particularly like Charlemagne and some of these charlatans, and you don't like some of your colleagues that are going the unmanly way.
Yeah,
Well,
go
these
get into
women
it. What
don't.
you think about Charlemagne? What you think about him? Get into that. I know people waiting to hear Charlemagne and
Punk,
Stephen A. Smith.
punk ass with a punk name.
Dang.
What about Stephen A.
Yo, Judge Joe Brown ain't got no filter, dog.
Smith? You ever heard of him? Well, me and him got into it because to me, he puts a little disrespect on guys' names. He tried to make it singular about me and him. But as I try to get people to wake up and see, it's not about just me and him. He said something like, allegedly, I wouldn't trade Andrew Wiggins for a box of cereal. And to me, that just goes too far. What if Andrew Wiggins was trying to, go out and get some money off the court? And people listen to Stephen A. He got a big platform, and you've devalued this man's value like that by saying he's not worth a box of cereal. To me, that that goes beyond basketball when you're starting to dox people like that.
Yeah, that's what they do. When they get a man that's a man, they try to down him. And if you badmouth somebody often enough, you get people adopting what they hear. So you get a negative impression.
Mm-hmm.
So what the deal is take the exemplars who behave like they're supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
and you get the people turned against that by telling lies, mistruths, exaggerations, and so forth. And they no longer listen to that individual, but they listen to the idiots.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's about. There, I want you
Mm.
to do something too. Your message needs to get out. I want to invite you to my show, which is later today. I know you won't be able to do it today, but next week, and I'll give you the call-in number.
Yeah, I'll be
And
there.
there
Just
is,
take me.
okay, I'll give it to you. I'll text it to you. And there's another somebody that's one of your big fans, Dana Cumberlander,
Okay.
who she's an intelligent woman. She's a grandmother, though she doesn't look like it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hot.
Yo, Joe is wild.
She fusses a lot, but you
Yeah.
gotta. It's a good way to learn how to deal with it. She treats me cool, but she treats the guys at half step. You know, she puts them in place. You know, and act like a man, man up. She's all for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to deal with her. I'll give you her number.
Okay.
And there are a few other people, and there's another brother that I call our investigative reporter. He does it for everybody, and you ought to deal with him too. He's got a show, but he travels all over the country getting to the bottom of the stuff. That's
What's his name?
Bernard Johnson. So you need to deal with him. And then there's a good sister you need to talk to. Her name is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant out of Los Angeles. And this is one of the most intelligent humans I have ever run into. Interestingly enough,
I like the fact that Judge Joe Brown is actually, giving him, connects right off the bat. You go into corporate whatever places, and people they want you to handcuff yourself to the nutsack, and you know what I'm saying, and while stepping on yours, and you know what I'm saying, cut your tongue in half. You can't say this, you can't say that. When people start putting you through a bunch of hoops, man, just know that they're normally controlling and manipulative individuals, man.
these women are deeper into man up as a necessity for men than a whole lot of brothers are doing. Dr. Johnson has one of the top 10 best-selling books on Amazon, which is good. She's a clinical psychologist. She's one of these super people. God damn, that woman is
Yo, Judge Joe Brown, boy,
movie star quality.
boy, wild, ain't he?
And
That boy said he said what he said.
she got
He's not pulling no
bachelor's
punches.
degree before she hit 20, got her master's before she got 21, and then got a PhD. And this is one of those super people that ought to be where Kamala Harris is, but she's a decent person.
Okay.
Now, she's a rare breed. She actually is president of an NAACP chapter, but she makes it something else. So like when this thing that became Black Lives Matter first started, before it got corrupted into Black lesbian mania and pushing this anti-family dialogue, she got the chief of police for the Los Angeles Police Department, all of his staff and every one of his command officers out there to tell the citizens in Long Beach, California, that they were not going to tolerate this stuff happening again. And actually, from what I saw the last few times I've been to LA, it actually seems to have made a difference. They're trying to recruit her to run for mayor of Los Angeles, like they have recruited me to run for mayor of Memphis in 2023. My slogan is JB in 2023.
Okay.
So anyway, some things need to be done. And we've got this Dana Cumberlander, Valerie Denise Jones. Oh, she's going to like you. She's the director of my show. She's a good looking woman. And by the way, former model, but you know what her problem is? She can't find a man. So all of these attractive, intelligent women can't find a man.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. Hell, even a rich tycoon I ran into one time, white guy, billionaire, said, look here, Judge, would you do me a favor and sit next to my two daughters at this banquet and talk sense to them? And I'm talking to one of them. She's got either boyfriend or husband, I forgot which, but she was the plain one. The younger one was working on her PhD. She's a billionaire. She looked like a movie star, man. She's gorgeous. And she was breaking it down. She had a few glasses of wine and she said, "Look, Judge, I can't find a man, an
Mm-hmm.
eligible bachelor." I said, "Well, what's wrong?" So she had him and my daddy said, "I need to ask you." I said, "Why don't you just break it down?" She said, "Well, let me put it this way. These guys I go out with, they like my girlfriends with dicks, and I ain't a lesbian. God damn it, I want a real man. What the hell's wrong with this?" So I broke it down. She said, "So in other words, my mama, her friend girls, and my aunts, and all of them, they raised these boys to be like this." Yeah, I said, "That's basically what it is." She said, "So who the hell gave these fools the idea that we want a girl? If we wanted a girl, we'd be lesbians, damn it. We want a man."
Mm-hmm.
And she, "My dad is a real man." By now she's cussing, so he's a real live man, I mean, he does wrong, but God damn it, he's a man.
Mm-hmm. But that's what they don't
You know,
understand. They think men are just one thing, and we got to be perfect. But it's a bunch of different ranges of men. So that's why I'm trying to bring people together. So some people are going to wear ties, and some people going to fix on tractors, and some people going to farm. It's different forms of men, and we should all be respected. So I appreciate you coming on my platform, but I also want to ask, and I'm definitely coming on yours, but I want to ask you, coming from an elder to a young buck, what would your advice be to young males, men and women coming up, trying to figure this thing out, that's trying to do it the right way and trying to get married?
very briefly,
Okay.
where I am to where you are seems like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The older you get, the smaller percentage of your life a year is. So when you get 70, 73, 74, 75, every year is just 1/70th of your life. When you're 30, it's 1/30th. When you're 2, 3, 4, it's a big percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Time passes very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And in your own mind's eye, you never get past where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to look at yourself in a mirror to realize how old you have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able to deal with yourself. Now, I would suggest to you to keep doing what you're doing, and any other young man out there, white, black, brown, red, yellow, be able to look in a mirror and say to yourself, "I acted like a man. I acted like I was supposed to have yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I acted like a man. I'm going to act like a man today while you're shaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have to uphold. Now, to
Mm-hmm.
uphold, you have to get your shit together. That means you have to commit yourself to the task of working. It's like nothing.
That boy said working, dog. That's right. I mean, he right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work, you gotta have a vision, you gotta have strategy as a man, dog. You have to be bringing something to the table that's going to elevate the person that you're with, or there's no point in being with them.
Comes easy. If you have a talent, that's great. But that talent might change because you get older. Like you, hell of a basketball player. I understand, got first round draft straight out of high school. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, I know Magic Johnson personally. I've known his family for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
I met Michael Jordan, met some other people. Penny Hardaway, I was on his board of directors for his charity foundation.
Mm-hmm.
A guy named Randy Wade and I, who they call Big Daddy, we used to do Man Up to some NBA players 34 years ago
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't have it. But the bottom line is focus, because what you do at an early age, you're not going to be able to do later. And what you can do later is your labor, your talent physically evaporates, but your acumen, your skill, your mind can increase. So keep your mind focused on an objective, have a cause, have a purpose. And if you have a purpose, your life is a lot easier because you can stick to it, where you can say, I made it rough on myself, but it's a matter of principle. A lot of people.
I like that. You gotta have purpose in life, man. And I think he's pretty much done talking about Charlemagne and things like that. But I definitely wanted y'all to dive into Judge Joe Brown's and Kwame Brown's actual talk and their discussion and his insight. You know, make sure you got a purpose. Make sure you understand as a young man that you definitely gonna have to work. You definitely gonna have to get skills. You know what I'm saying? Get multiple skills. Nowadays in 2021, you want to have multiple skills. Have a skill that you can fall back on, something that you perfected to where if the second skill that you're working on doesn't work, you can go back to the first one while you're still building the second one and just and keep going back and forth, but always constantly stay in motion. Momentum is everything, man. I like what they talking about. I like what Kwame Brown talking about. I like that platform, Kwame Brown, Bust Life. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, listen, look like I'm a fan already. It's Rob Allen, ENT, and I'm out.
Every single song I put out bangs. This is how we create what we say. They mad cause I let my nuts hang low to the flow like I'm tryna ball. Let go, I mean let go. You can't control. I know from young and old, you don't trust the soul. Reload your mindset, sold. Your future's gone. My woes, I lose control. If you